One of the things Meg and I did while we were on vacation was book a sightseeing tour. In that tour, we got to go see Blue Hole. We went to Dunn's River Falls and Rios and went tubing for the day. This is the tubing section of that sightseeing tour, and there's all sorts of adventures you can go on while you're in Ocho Rios. This one was one that we just happened to really be interested in. This place also offers rafting on bamboo rafts where someone kind of pushes you along with a stick down the river. But this one in particular, we had a guide. There he is right there carrying the tubes down. Those are real inner tubes from the inside of car tires, and luckily they have kind of a bottom on where your butt kind of sits against, because if they didn't have that, your butt would be scraping against the rocks. Most of the river is fairly deep in some spots. Our guide even mentioned that it was like 16 to 20 feet deep, but there were some spots where it got shallower over the rapids and you could definitely feel your butt dragging against the bottom. Here we are just getting started. Our guide, I believe his name was Keon, and he was great. He kind of told us everything about the river, a little bit about Ocho Rios. And you'll hear that at the beginning of our trip, he even kind of sang us a little bit of a song, and hopefully you recognize it a little bit. I'm going to try to boost the audio there so that you can hear it. Here our guide was telling us that everything that you see in front of there on that side of the river is all privately owned, whereas the side that I'm just about to bump up against here is all publicly owned and can be utilized by the general public. Look at how blue that water is. Isn't that gorgeous? We kind of get started right away at a rapids, and kind of sets the tone for the rest of the trip, because there were times where it was slow and slack, and then there were times where it was fast and bumpy, and overall it was a good mix, and we had a really fun time doing this. I'm going to cut out at this point so you can mainly enjoy just watching the sights of the White River as we're tubing in Ocho Rios. And we got to about the halfway point, and our guide was kind of showing us that you can use the limestone that's taken right basically from that river and kind of do like a mud bath situation. I believe they charge a little extra for that. Megan really wasn't interested, so we just kept on our way down the river. And we happened to notice these dogs kind of following us along from that point all the way to the end of the trip from that point. So kind of cool to kind of see the dogs running along the river with us. Coming up here, you can see these guys are getting ready to do some raft tours. Those are the bamboo rafts that I was talking about earlier in the video. We could have done this too, but we decided that the tubing was a little bit more what we were looking for. I think we would have had a fun time on the rafts, but I think that's through a little bit slower water, and we were pretty pleased with our experience, so we wouldn't take that back for anything. There were merchants that set up on both sides of the river at this point and kind of showed us what they were selling, and it was nice that they didn't really have us captive like they did on the street, because it was pretty high pressure on the street, whereas here we were just floating by, so they really, if we didn't want to buy anything, we didn't really have to stop. As you can see, we're kind of coming to the end of our tubing trip here. We had just an excellent time. We would highly recommend it to anyone in the Ocho Rios area in Jamaica.